Hey there, welcome to Following Walker's World. Well, I've been back from my JMT trip now for about 3 weeks and really miss it a lot. I had such a good time. It was short of what my original goal was to finish the whole thing, but the portion I did, which was about 120, a little over 120 miles, really fulfilled everything I expected and wanted to do on the JMT. Someday maybe I'll get back and do the other sections of it, but I got to really experience everything on the High Sierras and fishing and pretty much everything that you could do out there. I did it, and I had great weather. I think it rained for like 30 minutes one night before we had dinner and all, and then it just kind of cleared up. It was windy at times. We knew that when we were fishing a lot, and but the skies were blue. Weather was perfect. I think we had the lows of the 30s at night and maybe in the high 50s, 60s during the day. Not a bug to be found, no mosquitoes anywhere in the low country, the high country, nowhere. So what I wanted to do is, when I came back here, I wanted to go over some of the gear, not all of it, but things that I really thought worked well for me out there, and a couple things that really didn't work well with me. I'll start off with the big three. All three of those items worked great. I'll start off with my tent, that Lanshan 2 3FUL gear tent. Absolutely worked perfect. I had no problems with it whatsoever. Like I said, it rained a little bit. It was windy, but I think if I had one complaint, it was only that it was dusty and dirty, and the white tent got pretty nasty looking. And I'll insert a little video here of what that is. This is the tent after my trip from just 4 days ago from the John Muir Trail. You can see hopefully how absolutely dirty everything got. Up in the Sierras there, when you're walking, there's this, it's kind of like a lava, pumice, dusty type of dirt that just sticks to everything, and it kind of got into the nylon part of the tent, and I tried rinsing it off, washing it off, to no avail, but it still works fine, and I'm very happy with that tent. The other thing is my Z-Packs Arc Haul backpack. I put it through hell. I was really happy at the bottom portion of this because I was constantly taking it off, dropping it down on the ground, hitting the ground with it, rolling it all over, and everything worked well. Also, the Barricade bear canister, which I couldn't arc the backpack to where I'd like it. They say 2 to 3 inches. I actually had to do a little less to fit the Barricade in there because it was kind of round and wide. And I was kind of concerned because the outer edges were kind of sharp, and I was hoping it didn't do any kind of tear, and it didn't. I think the only problem had sometimes with the Barricade, I put my backpack on, I could actually feel the top rim sometimes hit my back. So it would take my, I had a little camp towel with me, or I had my puffy, and I'd kind of put it in between there, and that solved the problem. The tent, the original stuff sack I came with, I had taken and attached the tent to these lower little straps on the bottom of my backpack, and the tent stuff sack, the one that came with the little nylon one, in a matter of days or two, it just ripped apart. So what I did have with me, and the tent is one of the tents I have, did have with me, and it can't be compressed down an awful lot. It's just really puffed out right now. I had this waterproof Sea to Summit stuff bag. It wasn't that heavy. I put it in that. I was lucky I had it with me. I think I was going to use it for my clothes or something. And so I put the tent in that and I attached it to the bottom of my backpack. And this was, again, I dropped the backpack down on it all the time. Every night this was rubbing. And this thing really held up well. And I was real happy with that, and I'm going to continue to carry this tent in there. Not that it needs to be waterproof, but if it did rain or anything, I don't have to put up a really wet tent. So the other thing with my tent, out there it's very rocky. Sometimes you get some really good places where you can stake out your tent, but I use these these little shepherd hooks. They're a titanium shepherd hook. I got them on Amazon. I think I got 8 of them for, you know what, I couldn't tell you, but you know, you can shop that. I think it was like $10 for 8 of them. They're really good. At times I couldn't even get these in. I could get them down a little bit, but then I'd put the loop of the tent over that and I just put a big rock on it, and that held the tent up fine. So I would prefer to use, I'm going to be using these shepherd hooks with this tent for now on. I'm kind of going to get away from them MSR type of groundhog stakes and stick with those. Again, like I said, on my backpack, everything seemed to work real well in that. The only thing with Z-Packs I had all along, if you look at some of my past videos, I had a, I don't know, a little technical difficulty. I just had a phone call come in, so I don't even know how. I'm using my iPhone 10 here to shoot this particular video, so I don't even know how that's going to affect this video. But let me start over. As I was saying about the Z-Pack Arc Haul, I had that aqua clip on there. I even had 3 little bungee cords to hold that down, because it would constantly, and if you look at some of my past videos I used it, I'd bend over and the bottle, the whole clip would fall out, and it's such a pain in the ass to take that in, try to stick it back in. Even on the second day, on the second to last day of my trip, I pulled the bottle out and the whole clip just broke anyway, just broke into a billion pieces. So I'm not going to be using that anymore. I wouldn't recommend that at all. I think it's worthless. At least to me it was. I'm going to go with I'm going to order a Z-Pack. I'm going to get that one of them little shoulder pouches. It holds a small bottle, and it also has a little mesh thing in the front of it, so that'll suffice with me. I never really use more than that small bottle anyway. So that's it with my tent and with my backpack. The other thing that I loved, I don't know if you know, I went out, I got an Enlightened Equipment, probably backwards on the thing, but Enlightened Equipment Enigma, not the Enigma, excuse me, the Revelation. I got the 950 fill. I got the long version and the wide version. The 950 is the most fill you can get into it. I got the 20D nylon ripstop covering for it, which makes it more comfortable, also makes it much more durable, and it made it water resistant. That added a couple ounces to it, but the total weight of that, with the wide, the long, all the extras I got into it, it comes to about 20 ounces, and which is fine with me. That's perfect. It's an absolutely great quilt. I didn't know how I would react to the straps that go around my Neo Air Thermarest sleeping pad, but I really did like when I closed up the bottom portion of it and I put the strap on the bottom. It kept the sleeping bag from moving back and forth on my back. And one of the other straps, I just took and actually put it around my body, and I thought I'd feel it because I feel everything when I'm sleeping at night. But when I turned on my side, which I do sleep on my side a lot, I could actually take that strap and pull, because it was a wide, I could pull the quilt up even under me, so there was no draft coming in from the back. And I would turn on the other side, I would pull that too. So it worked really well. It's a 30 degree. At 30 degrees, it was perfect. I think it was if it was down to 20 degrees, I probably would have been cold, but I would have had to layer up more. But it's a perfect quilt for me. It's really light, and I didn't use a stuff sack with it. I just had a garbage bag. I would put that and some of my clothes in that, and I just push that down into the Arc Haul backpack, and that worked out fine. So, as far as my clothing goes, all my clothing worked well. I brought everything that everybody brings, a couple pairs of socks. There was one piece, I have I really like this a lot. I have a Patagonia mid-weight layered shirt. It was a long sleeve shirt. I wore this every night. I didn't wear this while I was hiking or anything, but I wore it every night coming into camp, and it was so comfortable and kept me warm. It was just the right shirt to have out there. And it's a Patagonia Capellini. It's probably one of the few things I bought at REI. Okay, this is some of the electronic equipment. First of all, I carried everything in this waterproof bag. That worked out real well. I like that very much. Of course, I brought my Garmin InReach. I think it worked a lot better out west than it did on the East Coast because of the open space and, you know, clear view of the sky, which you need. I don't use it that much for navigation and all that. I probably should, but you know, my basic thing with that is to be able to text. I carried this is the little Sony FDR X3000. Great stabilization, which I got to learn to use better. This is the waterproof housing that I did keep it in that kind of to protect it some. And I had a little Joby tripod, which kind of shook a little bit on some of my videos. You can see that it's not has to do with the stabilization, it has to do with my unsteady hand. I brought extra batteries. I needed maybe one more battery other than the battery that's in that. That was an overkill. I did not bring this 20,100 milliamp battery back, but I did bring a 10,000 and I brought a 4,000. Well, I could have got rid of the 10,000. I didn't need it at all, and it would have saved a lot more weight, less weight. So I could have got rid of some of the batteries, got rid of that. This is a little lens protector, which worked out real well because you want to protect that lens, and that just slides on and off. I took from the Sony, I took this card reader and I uploaded my videos to my phone, so I had it both on the SD card and on my phone, and I think I had a 64 gigabyte, is that what, yeah, whatever, card, and I actually brought 2 extras which I didn't need. I had more than enough space on both my phone and on the one card just to use that. I had also brought all these extra batteries for my headlamp, for this little extra cap lamp. I had an extra selfie. I had all sorts of other equipment that I could have just left home. I could have probably reduced my weight by almost 2 pounds by not bringing all that extra equipment with me. So that was my electronics. These are the things that I liked, that I used on the trip. Of course, there were many other things that worked well that I just didn't go over with. Well, thank you for watching that. Hopefully you'll got some benefits out of that. If you're planning a trip out to the JMT, I had to fly out there, and one of the good things that I did find out was to purchase a duffel bag to send my equipment out there. Everything arrived on time, everything showed up. I was very uptight about all that before I left, but I flew out there. Alaskan Airlines, they did a good job, and I had no problem with them whatsoever. So anyway, I've got some kayak overnight trips coming up. Being here in Florida now, and it's in October, just beginning October, so hopefully soon I'll be able to get up and do another, maybe one more trip. I might go up into the Cherokee area up in Tennessee and do a few nights up there. I'm going to do the Kissimmee Prairie trip again, and I'd like to do the Ocala trip again. And again, like I said, some kayak trips and some, hopefully, a whole overnighter. I'm in October right now. It's only been almost 3 weeks since I've been back from my trip. The month of October, I pretty much have to do some stuff around the house here. I got some honeydew things to do, and take care of some business at work, and hopefully I will have another video uploaded soon. I think the next one I'll do will be a fishing trip on my kayak. I'm really dying to get out there and do some of that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe. I got some great things coming up. I'm sure these videos are going to get a lot better. I got some exciting trips planned, and please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like this, and comment if you have any questions. Thank you, and thank you for watching Following Walker's World.